Here at Planet Facts, we spend most of our time talking about the urban core, even though most HRM residents live outside of it. Well, today we want to highlight a community that might only have 11,000 residents, but it's named after a great captain.
Captain. Captain. Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain.
Captain William Spry. Guys, hey, what's wrong? I thought it was funny, come on. If you're not familiar with Spryfield, it's located just outside the city center through the roundabout. Come on, you can do it. There you go now, just around the... No, not that much around. Take the exit, take the exit. Oh my. Well, once you work up the nerve to go out of the roundabout, you'll follow Heron Cove Road till you find yourself in Spryfield. It's a community surrounded by natural features like Purcell's Cove, Long Lake Provincial Park, Frog Pond Park, McIntosh Run, and Williams Lake. Geez, that's a lot of nature. Today, Spryfield might be a vibrant community full of a wide range of ages, income, and culture, but it had a much more simple beginning. It was primarily farmland until the 1950s. Then, like many of the communities surrounding Halifax, Spryfield was swooped up in the great boom of post-war suburbia. Thanks to the growing population, cheap land, and the growing popularity of the automobile, it quickly became a bustling community. Over half a century later, rising real estate prices on the peninsula are once again causing potential homeowners to consider Spryfield as their future community. And what are these future homeowners seeing? Well, a lot of them are seeing a great place to raise a family. Spryfield has seen a huge increase in the number of young couples and families moving into the area. And if you know the community, it's not hard to see why, but don't take our word for it.
I think what I love most about Spryfield is the way people look out for each other, and we know how to work together.
You know, the businesses want to help one another, especially when it comes to events, the Santa Claus Parade and Spryfield Days and any other of our networking sessions. It just blows me away, the support that we get.
I felt really welcomed into the community right away. Everybody is so friendly and welcoming, and just really excited to see good things happening in Spryfield.
That sense of supporting each other and helping each other, I think, is in our bones. It's part of our agricultural heritage, and we've managed to carry that into the modern world. So I think that makes Spryfield really quite special.
There's so many layers to what I like about Spryfield. I think you have this really interesting collection of people, both in age, in experience, in economic situations, but you also have this beautiful space, right? If I walked 10 minutes in that direction, I'd be on a trail.
Now, we aren't saying that Spryfield is perfect, and it does have one overarching problem: poor planning. In the late 20th century, infrastructure was a big concern for Spryfield, which felt that it was falling behind other HRM communities. They managed to convince the city to invest in Spryfield, but all they ended up with was a 4-lane highway running through their community. Then in 2007, the community was once again concerned that Spryfield was developing without any direction. They were able to convince the municipality to hire a consultant to create this amazing vision plan. And what happened to all these amazing ideas? Well, they went nowheres, leaving the community in the dark. Now, we aren't saying that the existing laws and policies for Spryfield are bad. They're just really outdated, and to be frank, they were really ineffective. The old plan has left the community with disconnected neighborhoods, more low-density housing than we can count, and a slowly spreading out commercial district. And cars. So many cars! Heck, the only unbagged transportation policy for Spryfield is the widening of Heron Cove Road. And that wasn't even for the community. It was to improve traffic flow for people driving through Spryfield. Now, maybe we are being a little hard on the old policies and bylaws. Who knows? Maybe the municipality thought the community would really love all the fun activities they created for Spryfield residents, like parking lot speed walking, the 15-meter dash, or, as it's better known, car dodgeball. All of the problems that come with an outdated municipal planning strategy and bylaws are only becoming more concerning now that Spryfield is attracting so much new residential interest. Currently, there are 7 pending developments around the community, and every one of them is asking for a development agreement. There's also the concern with how all these new people are going to be getting around. The current active transportation network in Spryfield is missing more than just bike infrastructure. It's also missing some key parts like, crosswalks, and as the Integrated Mobility Plan describes it, significant sidewalk deficiency. But what about transit? Well, the number 9A and B are great routes, But the community is seriously lacking in adequate bus shelters, and while the integrated mobility plan highlighted the fact that the Herring Cove bottleneck is a major issue for reliable transit, it fails to include the rest of Herring Cove Road for any future transit priority measures. All of this leaves the community with a big question. If there's no solid plan for development, how will all this new development shape Spryfield? Now, we know the fact that the HRM has fallen behind in municipal planning is no real news to anyone, and while we do give them credit for moving forward with making a new plan for the city center, it doesn't help that communities like Spryfield have fallen into limbo. But while the city might be in limbo, the community definitely isn't.
One of the things that I've learned in life is to push towards the things you want rather than pushing against the things you don't want.
We're one piece of a puzzle, and businesses are another piece of that puzzle, and individuals are a piece of that puzzle, and children and young people, they're all part of that puzzle. And it feels like what we have in Spryfield is all the pieces, and they're on the table and they're flipped over, and we've got the corners in place. We just need to put it all together.
Things like the urban farm kind of bring out the heart of Spryfield, like just community and getting together and doing something really great. And I want to see that continue, but also like more people become involved, because a lot of people, I have people come up every day that are like, I've never been here before. I've lived here for 10 years and I've never been here before.
So we're looking at how do we work collaboratively to bring fresh vegetables to people. We have gardens everywhere in Spryfield. There's food everywhere, but it's not getting into the hands of people who need it.
It's not super accessible all the time to have local food, but here we try and keep our prices low and get people involved in helping take care of the food as well and connecting with it. We want a barn and we want like farm animals and chickens. Really want chickens.
And we're going through the process now, create a business plan for a community bus. The Business Commission has actually taken that on as a challenge.
I really like the idea of age-friendly communities. Whether you're 9 or 90, regardless of age, it's as important for little children to be able to get around as it is for older adults and seniors, as well as people who are in midlife working. And how we get around in the city comes back to a planning issue.
We haven't had a review of the land use bylaws in a long time, and it's really time for those to be redone. That's one of our pet peeves, and one of the things that I drive home every time there's a public hearing on a building, and I go and I talk, I say, you know, we wouldn't be here tonight if this was done.
What we as residents can do to say, this is what really matters to us. This is the direction that Spryfield ought to go if we're to be an inclusive community that's for all ages. Then let's get involved in planning.
You know the saying that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself? Well, guess what, Spryfield? Now's that time.
Just do it!
Well said, Shia. The Spryfield Community Association is gathering information on how residents would like to see Spryfield develop in the future. So check out the surveys down below or visit their website. In the meantime, if you want to help Spryfield develop, consider joining the Spryfield Community Association.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just